So good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us for one of our webinars here. The main basis of it is key skills to maximize your experience here at TESU. My name is Kiva, and I'm the support coordinator here for the peer support program. I just want to go over a brief agenda of what we're going to cover tonight. So I'm going to give you guys an introduction and just an overview of what the peer support services program is here at TESU. And then Yavanka, our coach, is going to talk to you guys about how to manage information overload, which I know a lot of you are here for. So just a quick overview of the program. So peer support, it's a brand new program launched by the university in November of 2021. This program is a great opportunity for students to connect with peer tutors and peer coaches who are current or former TESU. So myself, I'm the coordinator. I'm a former TESU student. I got my master's here in 2019, Yavanka as well. And all of our coaches and tutors are either current students or they're former TESU students. So we kind of have a ways of how the program and everything at TESU is managed. Our peer support services has a team which consists of a math tutor. We have 2 English and writing tutors, a support coordinator, myself, and we have 3 peer coaches who are available to assist you as you navigate through your TESU experience. So our team we're practically on, I want to say, throughout the day. We have someone almost on 24 hours throughout the day. So if you guys ever reach out, 9 times out of 10, we try to get back to you within 24 hours, but because we have people all over, we typically respond to everyone within the same day. The peer support team is here to provide support, guidance, and strategies for overcoming any barriers that you as students may encounter along your journey here in TESU. So what you guys are taking a look at here, this is just a snapshot of our Moodle page. Let me actually just take you guys to a live version of it to just give a quick overview. So everyone is going to have this Moodle page, this peer support program as a course. So when you go to your ledger here, you should see at the bottom somewhere it says peer support, tutoring, and coaching. If you click into that, you'll see this is our peer support page here. We have a lovely welcome. We kind of give you a spiel of what the program does. We have where you can have 3 options of reaching out to us, which is schedule an appointment. You can interact with students and or coaches and tutors on our forum. And you can just reach out to us directly with an email. So how I sent out this webinar for everyone, it came directly from our email. If you want to reach any of our coaches or myself, reply to that email, send an email to that, and that's how we can actually reach out to you directly if you have any questions about anything. The platform that we use is Smart Thinking. So a lot of you may or may not be familiar. For Smart Thinking, there's a traditional service route where you can go in. There's, that's something that the university overall provides. But what we try to do for peer support, we have a specialized version of the Smart Thinking, where if you click into Smart Thinking, it'll actually launch you to the third party. And here you can schedule appointments with our tutors and coaches. And you can also ask offline questions. If anything of that matter, that's what we actually have Smart Thinking set up for in that aspect. If you guys want a tutorial on how to walk through Smart Thinking, we are also available to help you guys with that. And there's also a video here. If you click on it, that'll launch to kind of show you how to access specifically peer support underneath Smart Thinking. Also, we have here, you can view the drop-in hours. So drop-in hours are if you just have a quick question, something that you say, hey, I want to talk to a coach right now. You can log on, you can click right there and you can see which one of our tutors and our coaches are on. From there, you can shoot over an email, get a response there. And then, or you can actually go into Smart Thinking and schedule a session right away with those drop-in sessions. That's kind of like free open hours. If you kind of need more of a scheduled appointment set up, you can also review their pre-scheduled hours. And those are where you can specifically get an appointment and you know for sure that it'll only be you at that time. And just in case somebody else is trying to drop in when you are and you guys clash a little bit, the pre-scheduled hours, that'll be specifically your timing with your coach and or tutor. Here you can also find the community forums which I mentioned earlier. So we have them broken down by English and writing, math, and also general discussion. Feel free to go in under the English and writing and reach out to our English and writing tutors. Under math, you can reach out to our math tutor. In general discussion, you can reach out to our coaches. You can also reach out to other students on here as well. So if you see someone ask a question for a coach, but you're like, hey, I kind of already know the answer to that, or I know for sure one of the coaches or tutors helping with that, feel free to write the answer there. Feel free to communicate with your other students, everyone else that's in the peer support program. And right now we have about a little over 7,000 people enrolled. Contact us again. Like I said prior, our email is here. This is the main source for you to reach any of our tutors and their coaches or myself. And we would do our best to get back to you within 24 hours, which we traditionally do, or less. There's also some facts and resources. So here, any commonly asked questions, you can click it. It'll pop up some just some informational sheets for you to say, hey, I have a question. Maybe it was asked before. You can click on it there and check it out. We do have some how-tos. So this will show you how to reach out to us via Smart Thinking. We do also have Zoom available, Microsoft Teams available, where we can do phone calls and any type of sessions like that with you as well. So Smart Think is not really your thing. We also have other means of how we can communicate with you guys. So don't shy from that. We just have our services flyer there, just kind of giving you guys a little bit of an overview, a little flashy flyer about our program. And then again, as I mentioned before, all of our webinars, we have underneath the peer support webinar recording. So this is not our first webinar. This is not our first topic. You may find some topics there that, you know, you've missed previously or you weren't enrolled in school yet that you may want to check out. There's stuff about time management. There's stuff about supercharging your studying skills, MLA, APA. So feel free to hop on there and just take a look at some of our previous recordings. This recording will also be uploaded to the sheet as well. Okay, so that's just all the information I have about the peer support program and the overview. Before I kick it over to Yavanka, does anyone have any questions for me? Okay. So now I'm going to introduce your peer coach for the night, Yavanka.
All right, I'll wait till you put up the slide.
Yeah, if I can get my coordination down pat, here we go.
That's,
All right.
That's why I'm full with this stuff.
All right, Yavanka, the show is all yours.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight and sharing this space with me. I appreciate it. As Kiva said, my name is Yavanka. I'm a peer support coach with the TSU Peer Support Program. I'm also a former graduate of Thomas Edison, and I am excited to do this webinar with you. Next slide. Okay. Okay. And welcome to this session. Next slide. All right. As Kiva said, please feel free to ask me any questions throughout the webinar. You can also engage us through the chat. If you have anything, just put it in there. We will get to you. If you want to unmute yourself and interject or comment, it is much appreciated. Okay, next slide. So the subject and the topic of our webinar tonight is information overload. And what does that mean? And is that a real thing? As I was doing this webinar, I thought, oh my God, this is a lot of information. This is exactly what we're talking about. But unfortunately, we are living in a digital age. You know, prior we had the American Revolution, we had the Industrial Revolution. We are now in the technological revolutionary stage of society, and we have to meet the demands of it. Just like previous revolutions and changes in our culture, we have to make adjustment, and this is no different. So learning about that is very important, especially since we are using online format modality for learning. So it becomes a point where we have to balance, right? Because life is still happening. So that's what we're going to get into tonight. Next slide. But before we take a deep dive in, before we get into this, let me check in with you. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how are you feeling? You can drop it in the chat. You can come off of mute. Let me check in with you first. I know some of us are coming from work in the middle of eating and dinner and just a whole bunch of things that are moving around. Somebody said 9. That's excellent. Okay, somebody said 10. I like that. I like 5. Okay, we're going to have to gauge that 5. All right. I got a 6, a 7. Okay, 7. All right. I like that. Thank you. Thank you, Dad. Okay, 3. Wow. Okay. Now, whoever said 3, if you don't mind coming off mute for a minute, tell me why. If you don't mind, you can put it in the chat. You can come off and you can talk about it. Because one of the things I want to do towards the end, I want to check back in with you and see where you are at that point. So I'm not just asking for perfunctory. I'm asking because I'm interested and I'm vested in you because you showed up to this webinar. So this is reciprocal. What I put into you, I want you to put back out. So if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine. But tell me why a 3.
Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Hi, my name is
Hi.
Berlin.
Hi, Evelyn. Mhm.
I um I shared a 3. Obviously, we're all adult students here, so we all have a personal and a professional and an academic life.
Yeah.
And I am going through a divorce right now, and I have a full-time job, and we just had this crazy cyber attack.
Wow.
Emails got hacked, and we're a nonprofit organization, and we had these hackers come in and take like $80,000. It was really crazy. So we have this insurance policy, and then now I have this capstone paper that I'm writing on top of it, and I'm turning in assignments, and I feel like I'm juggling, but it just it's a lot of information, to have to research and have to critically read and think through the instructions, which sometimes are kind of unclear. And sometimes I can't tell if I am exhausted because of the actual work that I'm doing or if I'm just overwhelmed. And I think through an online platform, it can sometimes feel like you're the only one who doesn't get it, type of thing. And so I guess it just feels like 3 because I didn't. Sometimes it's like I don't know who to talk to, So it just feels like it's a lot between all of the things, and then it feels like it's stupid to ask, if that makes sense.
It absolutely does, Amberlyn. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for feeling safe enough to do that. First, uh, let me say that there's no question, there's no answer, there's no subject that's stupid. Thank you for hanging in there. I would also encourage you to make an appointment with one of the coaches, and that's really the part, that's really the emphasis of the TESU peer support program, the services for the coaching. And sometimes you just need somebody to talk to listen to, just to flush out ideas, just to flush out what you're going through, and just to be a support for you. We're not saying that we're having all the answers, but what we are saying is that many of us, myself, Kiba, we have walked a journey. And as you said, work, life, personal, sometimes this crap comes crashing down all at one time. And it can feel like you're on that island alone. It can feel that way. So I would encourage you, we could go further, on a more personal level from the coaching appointment, if you would like to do that. It doesn't have to be any more than 15, 20 minutes. Let's keep it said, Zoom, phone call, just to check in with you to see how you're doing. I would like to do that at some time with you. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that works great. I would appreciate that.
Okay. Before we end the call, we will set up an appointment with you, okay? I'm sorry, at the end of the Zoom, okay?
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. Next slide. Okay. So we have gauged where we are. One of the things I like to do is do a quick breathing technique because sometimes it focuses us, it centers us. Real quick story. I had a professor during my current program. She started this, and I used to think it was so corny at first. And then I'd be like, what is she talking about? And then to speak to what Amberlyn was talking about, I would get so overwhelmed with the reading and the work. And then I started to implement like just 20, I would start with a minute. I'm up to 15 minutes, y'all. But anyway, it helped me to center my thoughts. It helped me to come back to a focus, to get myself together. So I would like to do, this is not even a minute. I would like us, you don't have to close your eyes, just focus on your breathing so that we can get into what this information overload is. So you can start, Keep. I don't know if can you hear it? Okay. Just focus on your breathing. Okay. I hope the next one has sound, Kiva, but it's supposed. That's
So I
okay.
think maybe because I was on mute. It
Oh,
didn't
okay.
play the sound. I was
Okay.
over here breathing in and out. I apologize. It was
No, no,
beautiful.
no, no worries, no worries. I'm sure we read it. That the purpose of that was just to breathe. Next time we will make sure, but that's okay. So the point was just to focus ourselves, to take in, to center ourselves, to kind of push aside all the other things that are going on around us and just kind of focus on the topic at hand. In other words, to be intentional, to be present in the space. Okay, next slide. So let's get into what can I do about information overload? We can't get around it. As we mentioned, we're all adults and we're taking online classes, and that's just an extra layer to our lives. It's a journey that we've decided to take by choice. So then now how can we manage? And this is what we're going to talk about. Next slide. So what is information overload exactly? According to Siko Sharia Masood, 2016, information overload happens when an individual is trying to process too much information at one time. That could be us at work, eating, reading emails, responding to texts, listening to music. It's too much. Sometimes we have to learn how to shut it down. There are consequences to us not being able to shut it down, which we want to get into next. This is a real thing. There's science behind it. It's been several scholarly studies on it to find out how all of this information that was meant to help us is now causing some disruption in our daily lives. Next slide. So, since we are living in an age of technology, what's happening? Information overload is just a click away. When we are inundated with alerts, texts, emails, messages, social media platforms, and work-related messaging, it can become very overwhelming. But what are we doing? On one hand, it's considered to be a technological wizardry. On the other hand, the information is causing a severe disruption in our day-to-day lives. It's causing our brains to malfunction somewhat. Our brains can only handle but so much. I know that there's an issue of conflicting controversy about multitasking. I really, again, after I'm reading the research, I'm kind of believing, I don't know about all that, because you know why? You're not doing one thing good. You're doing multiple things mediocre. If you're doing an email and you're trying to text or you're talking or you're doing something else, that email may have some spelling errors in it, or you may not have answered a question, or you may miss something and you send it off and people reading your email like, wow, look at that spell. You know what I mean? So we're not doing one thing good. We're doing multiple things mediocre. So sometimes it's good to turn things off. And I know for myself, when I'm studying or doing my homework, I have to literally turn off the alerts, turn my phone on vibrate, and I have to put it away because it is very distracting. And those are those little things that we have to learn how to do that can minimize the disruptions, okay? People experience information overload through many different media outlets, newspaper, TV, the internet, and the wireless digital communications that we have at hand. Some consider it a myth of modern culture and society, while others believe that people cannot be overloaded with information. The current census is that it has impacted many areas of our lives, including employee and student effectiveness. Scholarly research suggests that information overload is a real problem for many people that cannot be denied. Information overload is a real challenge faced by an increasing number of people coping with stress. And you may ask yourself, how does this translate to stress? We'll get to that. Next slide. So this is a quick synopsis. I include multiple measures and multiple ways of learning through visual, through reading, through auditory. So you may hear some of the same things, but it's to reach multiple levels of how people learn. Okay. All right. So Kiba, do you have to put yourself on mute? Okay. So we can
You hear it?
yeah.
It's called information overload, a theory that has recently been developed to address the intake of too much data due to the widespread use of digital devices, massive amounts of new information, and the ability to transmit this information so quickly. What's truly fascinating is that Americans spend half of their year consuming information. That's 182 and a half days of straight data consummation. If I break it down, the average person consumes information for 12 hours a day, taking in 100,000 words a day, which is 201 letter-sized pages of text, single-spaced. The scariest part is that when only read, we remember 10% of this information. The stats on the internet seem decent, with the average person spending 32 hours online a month. During the same time, 30 billion new pieces of content are published on Facebook. That's 3 with 10 zeros. In terms of emails, the average professional receives at least 100 emails a day. No wonder why Yahoo's survey found that 1/3 of people would rather clean their toilets than sort through their inboxes. What's more interesting is that the average professional checks their inboxes 30 to 40 times an hour. The 21st century is clearly redefining multitasking. In a college lecture, students open twice as many distracted windows on their laptops as productive windows. For every 100 productive windows, students also opened 27 email windows, 33 surfing and entertainment windows, 43 instant messaging windows, 87 operation system windows, and 19 miscellaneous windows. The question is, does multitasking work? Research states that 1 in every 40 people are able to multitask without performing worse at either task, which means a mere 2.5% of people are what they've coined supertaskers. So what does this mean for the rest of us? Our brain can process 100 trillion instructions per second, while our working memory can hold between 3 to 4 tasks at a time. Multitasking has been a large contributor to information overload, which in turn has been a large contributor to our country's deficit. It's estimated to have cost the US economy $900 billion annually since 2008. $900 billion a year. I could go to space with Virgin Galactic 4,500,000 times with that money. So what does this all mean? Well, for starters, it means we've become digital junkies. But the real question is, how do we fix this? We need to learn how to limit ourselves. We need to turn off our cell phones, our laptops, our iPods, even if it's just for an hour. We need to read books. We need to embrace the time it takes to complete a singular task. We need to go outside and enjoy nature. Essentially, I think we need to unplug.
Okay. What are you guys thinking? Any comments, any feedback?
I have some feedback. Can I start?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, so I understand this struggle personally
Okay.
with a very real attention deficit disorder,
Yes.
information overload. I was fascinated by the last part. I think it was 500 trillion bytes or something per second, which is just mind-boggling considering that the speed of light is 365,000 miles per second. That comes from Albert Einstein research. But this is, yeah, I think like it was said, it's just in the beginning, there's so many rules to follow. You have to navigate an entire platform that's brand new. You're processing questions, information, subjects, intellectual thinking is just, it's so far beyond. So this, I think, to me at least, it was very relevant and very, very accurate. And it comes from the personal side, so it can be slightly biased. But I've lived this concept, so I identify with every aspect of it.
Thank you, Rudy. I appreciate that. It is real. And like you said, it needs to be acknowledged in multiple spaces, in our work life, in our personal life, and in our academic life. If I can refer back to what Amberlyn said, it can be very overwhelming. And sometimes, as Rudy said or intimated, that it can be to the point where you just don't want to do anything. Because it's like, why bother? I can't handle this, or I'm so far behind. I just cannot catch up. And we'll talk about some of those things in the future slides. Okay, next slide.
And then just real quick from the chat, a lot of people are, agreeing with Rudy. A lot of people are agreeing with, the information about the chat, with the YouTube video. And I believe Maya said it's crazy how it can be hard to unplug sometimes. I think that is definitely
Yes.
I think
Right.
realizing you need to unplug is the start, and then actually unplugging, that's the second aspect.
Yeah, I struggle with that word, what they call it, digital junkie. I don't like it's, but anyway, it's just a term. But it can be addictive. Sometimes I see students walk around the campus just on their phones. They walking into the walls, doing advisement or doing, you're helping them and they're on the phone. And some adults do it. I mean, look, the car accidents are up. Car accidents are what? Texting, right? So much you have to have laws because no texting while you're driving. And then now we come to studying. I know that sometime I will zone out, like if I've read a chapter or something or a couple chapters, and I'll go just on my phone. And my granddaughter got me hooked onto that what do you call that, TikTok? And I literally have to catch myself because one night I was supposed to be doing my homework and I was on there for like 20 minutes. I was like, oh my God, what was I watching for 20 minutes?
Yep. Wendell mentioned Facebook, Instagram.
Yes.
I popped in with Twitter. There's TikTok. There's so
Yes,
many
I
social
didn't
media
know
platforms.
there were so many social media platforms. And I'm thinking to myself, if I'm older, supposed to be mature and can balance, what is going on with people who, like Rudy said, have some attention deficit, have other barriers that will challenge their ability to study.
Distractions,
Right?
yeah. Window distractions.
That's right. It's real. So there's no easy answers. I want you guys to know that there's no magic. Albert Einstein cannot come up with any m2 square pi, whatever, to solve this, right? This wasn't anticipated. What we can do is discipline, and we can learn how to be present in the moment in whatever assignment or homework or work, whatever it is that we're doing, and we can be intentional. That's what we can start doing.
Can I add one thing?
You sure can.
I apologize. Okay, I was a little anxious when I first started, but
That's okay.
a lot of comments about Twitter and Facebook. I don't have any of those outlets. I don't like to engage in all the outside. But even as dismissive as I am, as every report or every piece of information is coming from Twitter, or public domains that are not verified. But even with all that, I still have a hard time slowing everything down from TESU because it's cluttered with so much information.
Yeah.
For me, what I've realized is if you look at some of the most brilliant, scientists and creators and inventors in history, going back to the 1900s, like Thomas Edison, you realize that their entire focus was exclusive to what they were doing. There were no distractions outside. There was no alternative focus. And I believe for myself, I've gotten through with a great coaching staff here, but I also believe that when I shut it all down, as someone said, unplug, it recalibrates and I'm able to actually focus on one thing at a time. It's an engaging experience. Thanks for letting me input.
Oh, no problem. And that's part of you will hear throughout my webinar, throughout the content that I've included, that the number one thing is discipline, because you have to discipline yourself to engage, being intentional, which you talked about, Rudy, because you made an intention to what your barriers are, what your challenges are, you recognize them, and then you're putting a plan of action in place, which is to unplug and focus on your assignment. It's important. It is really a basic tool for us to balance all the stuff that we have. There's no magic to this. It is just being able to focus on one thing. Keith has a.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, Ivanka. Keith raised his hand.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate what you're doing, ladies. Greatly appreciate it. A lot of great information. One of the things that I see, just being in human resources, that this phone thing is so addictive. I mean, they actually have courses on electronic addiction. And because, can you get through an interview without touching your phone, young man, young lady?
Yeah.
Can you work through a job without touching your phone? And many of them don't realize how addictive it is until you start to tell them. Unemployment will always stay up because a lot of people are going to get fired because of their phones.
That's true.
And you try to talk to them, you try to tell them about it, give them warnings, but it's so addictive.
It is.
It's like cigarettes. You can't smoke right here, but if you're addicted to it, it's really much worse than what people think it is.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
And Wendell asked, is it helpful to have an accountability partner in these matters?
I believe so. You know how we have accountability partner for losing weight, for coaching, for exercise? To me, this is no different,
I agree.
especially if it's something that the individual struggles with. So as I said, when I was referencing the various evolutionary processes of society, how we have to now make accommodations for things, how we now have to rethink the way we're doing things. This is no different than having an accountability partner. And if it's a tool that suits the individual, because everybody doesn't need one, but if a person knows that they could have someone to, for example, a lot of my students who are some of them are academic probation, they have to have an accountability partner. They have to do check-ins, someone to say, how you doing? What's going on? Some people really motivate. Some people say, I don't need that. I can manage on my own. Fine. Again, individual preference, but I definitely agree with that whole accountability partner, Wendell. Thank you.
And Maya has a perfect example. She said her boyfriend, when they do homework together, they call each other out when somebody gets distracted. So that right there,
Accountability.
proof, an accountability partner.
Accountability. Okay.
All
Good
right.
feedback. Thank you, guys. Next slide. So how information overload negatively impacts students, and a lot of things that we've already discussed: poor decision-making, memory loss, stress and anxiety, low productivity. Oh, got screwed up there. Sorry, y'all. And which I think it was Keith talked about at the job. So how much work is your employee actually doing? How much productivity are they actually producing? How is their performance? Are they high performance, low performance? If so, what is the reason? For same thing for students. The performance is academic performance. So where are they in that spectrum? Short attention span, lack of self-confidence. I was wondering, does anybody know or how or what that effect means, lack of self-confidence? What do you
Yes,
think?
I do. I have credentials outside, so
Okay.
there's a slight distinction between insecurity and low self and a lack of confidence. Lack of confidence means that I don't have the conviction, I don't have the intellectual discipline, the conviction
Mhm.
to push myself to do what's necessary,
Mhm.
even though I may have the skill set or I may have the aptitude. I just don't trust myself, and even if I do come to believe, my assumption, the work tends to get done under duress, and I'm going to fail.
Mhm.
That's my point of view.
Very good, thank you. Wendell has something in the chat, I believe.
Yeah,
Wendell, you're not gonna come off mute and talk?
he says the inability to get things accomplished can lead to a lack of self-confidence and self-doubt. Yep.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because sometimes if you feel like you repeatedly are unsuccessful, your attempts, it does that low self-esteem, low self-confidence, however you want to term it, it does seep in, and it really goes to that just why bother? So it's being in the moment, being intentional and focusing on that one task or assignment at a time, unplugging, it really does help to focus. You'll feel accomplished afterwards. Okay. Maya says,
Not being able to get things done makes me feel like a failure. And in the future, I find it hard to trust myself that I can accomplish the goal if I try again.
Real, that's real. That's real. Thank you, Maya. Have you been working on that, Maya? Is that something that you are purposely trying to address? Very excellent.
Yep. Perfect. Identifying, I always say, is like the biggest thing. Like when you identify it, I feel like it becomes a lot easier to tackle. At least you know that there's a starting point. It's when you don't even know what's wrong or sometimes, or why can't I, you kind of go into that spiral. But I feel like once you identify it, like, Maya just said, this is something that, it kind of kicks me down in the future, but knowing that you identify and you're working on it, I feel like that's the biggest step.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Keeper. Next slide. So best practices for reducing information overload. Some of these we'll move through. There's another video that I have. Well, this one's a short one. This talks about some science-based things that we've already talked about, to simply address how to fix it. Remember, there's no magic. It is purposeful, diligent, intentional work on the individual. Okay.
Okay, and then Wendell just talked about procrastination. I think we did
Oh,
a webinar about that.
we did. As a matter of fact, we did. We absolutely did. And this leads to, because if you were distracted by TikTok, I'm just using that, or TV, suppose, because Rudy said he doesn't subscribe to any of these social media platforms. But what if TV is a distraction, or the newspaper, or magazines? Like I said, there's so many different distractions. It depends on the individual. But if I'm reading or watching or watching TikTok or doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, I'm essentially procrastinating, because I'm prolonging my work doing my assignment. If I'm at work and I'm supposed to be replying to an email or doing something, a task, and I'm doing something else, I have now prolonged what I was supposed to be doing. That's essentially procrastination. So, all right.
All right.
One of my first freelance clients was located on the East Coast in Boston, while I lived in Los Angeles. At first, I didn't think it would be much of a problem, but eventually, the time difference started to get pretty stressful. It always seemed like I was playing catch up. Since my client was 3 hours ahead of me, I would sit down at my computer in the morning, already feeling behind. I'd wake up at 7 a.m. to a cascade of unread emails and notifications demanding my immediate attention. This made it pretty difficult to focus on my work without feeling like my attention was being pulled in 100 different directions. In the age of the internet, high-speed connections, email, and instant messaging, that goes straight to the devices we keep on ourselves nearly 24/7. Information overload is both real and a huge problem. With all the ads to click, blogs to read, and posts to like, it's no wonder we often feel like the internet is drowning us instead of lifting us up. Because the truth is, we can only really concentrate on one thing at a time. Multitasking is simply not feasible. When we multitask, what's really happening is we're switching from one task to another rapidly, which, ironically, ends up making us perform worse than if we had just focused on one thing at a time. Information overload is similar to multitasking because it pulls our attention in several different directions, keeping us from really giving it our all when it comes to the important task we're actually trying to accomplish. But how can we focus on just one thing at a time when our phones are buzzing at us and there are 10 urgent emails in our inbox? There are a few ways to minimize the noise of daily life, and luckily, they are pretty simple. 1. Meditate. Meditation is a great way to quiet the mind and focus your thoughts. While meditating, try keeping your focus on your breath. If your mind starts to wander, as it probably will, gently bring your thoughts back to the present moment. This exercise helps you feel grounded during the rest of the day because you'll be able to bring your attention back to where it needs to be, instead of getting lost in the sea of online information. Many top entrepreneurs and business owners use meditation to help them filter the daily influx of buzzes and beeps, alerting them throughout the day. Try meditating for just a few minutes in the morning to start your day off right, or in the middle of the day for a quick reset, or even at the end of your day to quiet down your mind. It's free, easy, and you don't need anything to do it. 2. Breathe. Breathing exercises work wonders for keeping the anxiety of information overload at bay. Start with square breathing, which is a method of breathing that, you guessed it, forms a square. Just breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Let it out for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds and repeat. This technique is similar to meditation, but is even easier and focuses solely on breath work. As you take control of your breathing, your brain gets the signal that there's nothing to be anxious about anymore, and it will clear your mind. Take a few minutes out of your day to just breathe and let your mind reset. 3. Digital detox. A digital detox is exactly what it sounds like, a break from all things with screens. So much information overload comes from the internet, laptops, phones, TVs, iPads, etc. Take a digital detox to clear your mind and refocus on the things that really matter. You can take a break from technology for as long as you want, or just for one evening, or maybe just for 1 hour during the day. Whatever amount of time works for you, take it. If you need to keep working, try moving to pen and paper instead, so you can stop staring at a screen. Simply taking a break can make you feel much more at peace when you finally go back to using tech. 4. Digital declutter. If you can't take a full break from technology, you can also try decluttering your digital devices. Clutter makes us easily distracted because there's more than one thing to focus on, and your devices can be cluttered too. On your computer, get rid of unnecessary files or any other visual distractions, like distracting wallpapers or push notifications. When working, try to only have one tab open on your screen at a time. For your phone, you can remove or silence apps that continually demand your attention throughout the day. When you keep your space clear, even your digital space, your mind will be clear too. 5. Organize your inbox. The email inbox can be a frightening place, and the more you don't look at it, the more it piles up, making it even worse. But you can make your inbox a place that works for you instead of against you. Start by doing some digital decluttering and marking all your old emails as read. Then go through and unsubscribe from any unnecessary email lists. Next, organize your emails into a system that makes sense to you, whether that's putting all the unread emails at the top, organizing them into folders, or something else. Just by organizing how your emails get shown to you, you take back the power of what information gets through to you and how it is prioritized. 6. Time block your day. Another useful trick for avoiding information overload is time blocking. Pick specific times during the day that you will let yourself look at your phone, or answer emails, or read articles, or scroll through social media. For example, a lot of people only answer emails for 1 hour during their day, so they can get through all of them at the same time and save themselves the headache of checking it constantly throughout the day and distracting themselves. You may feel like those urgent emails can't wait, but if you answer an email within at least 1 day, that's considered standard. Setting boundaries around your tech usage is so huge when it comes to taking back control of your focus and energy. If you really feel stressed about not answering emails right away, create an automatic reply that lets the people emailing you know you only check your emails during a specific time and will get back to them soon. 7. Take a break. Take more than just a digital break, and take a break from everything. Find a time during your day to go outside, walk around, dance a little, or do anything that gets you up and moving around. When our bodies are in motion, we think better and we perform better. So remember to get up from your desk occasionally and smell the fresh air. While working with my East Coast client, I eventually realized that the way I was handling my emails and messages was not sustainable. I had to make the choice to stop letting it affect my work and even personal life. So I set up serious boundaries. I stopped checking my emails from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. and I stuck to that. When the end of the day came, I turned off my computer and I didn't check it again until the next day. And you know what? Nothing bad happened. They respected my off time, and there were never any emergencies that I missed helping with, despite my worries that there would be. At the end of the day, we have the power to decide what digital information we consume and how much. Although it may feel like you're only productive when you're always reading the next email, message, post, or what have you, the truth is that if you're always intaking new information, you're never actually processing or implementing that information. So give yourself moments of peace throughout your day to let your brain catch up. Step away from the digital world, gain some clarity, breathe, then come back when you know you won't be overwhelmed anymore. The internet should work for us, not against us. And as long as we start being conscientious about how we use it, we won't end up drowning, but swimming. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. If you're interested.
All righty. Any feedback?
Yeah, slow down.
You're saying just as a technique, Rudy?
Well, I was just sort of breaking the ice.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Did someone else say something?
Whoever that is, you're coming in a little pixelated. Is that you, Wendell?
Is that
No.
better?
That's better. There you go.
Oh, that was Wendell?
Yeah.
Oh, he spoke. Hi, Wendell.
I was actually trying to speak earlier, but I guess I was pixelated at that time too. Yeah,
Okay.
the video was very good, very insightful. And thanks for sharing it. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and look at this video again.
Yes, please. There's another slide that's coming up that has some additional information on it. I didn't, it's so funny. Somebody just put in there, or Rudy said, slow down. And you said balance. And I kept thinking, I want to give them the tools, but I don't want to overload them. But the idea is for you, you guys can take a picture of it or go back to it and read it on the resource page at your leisure. I wanted you to just go back and look at some scholarly information about information overload and best practice to address it, because we're not just students, we have other things going on in our lives too. And it is key to just balancing it. We're not going to get away from the technology. Everything is connected. I mean, everything is absolutely connected. And it was funny. I also have a bad, I'm just gonna put myself out there. You know, when you're doing homework or you research and those ads come up for like clothes or shoes or somebody. So I've had to learn how to just click them off because yes, right. Because Google, whatever internet you're on, they track you, right? And they see what you browse and they keep inundate. Anybody else experience that? And I've said, okay, don't click that. Don't go to that web. You're supposed to be doing something. So yeah, okay, ad block. I'm gonna have to try that, Maya. Yeah, because it's just that's another, it's like a rabbit hole. So again, just being disciplined and coming back and staying in the moment. So yeah. Oh, Bridget says me too.
YouTube video. I was clicking off some of the ads.
Yeah.
It didn't pull me in, but just the ads popping up. It happened as the video was
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
Bridget said her too. So yeah, it again have to be so mindful of what we're doing. So yeah. All right. Next slide.
Comment.
Yeah, sure. Please. Hi.
Sidebar. So happy to see your faces because I'm like emailing you guys all the time.
And your name doesn't come up. What's your name?
Nicole.
Oh, hi, Nicole.
I was the one losing my mind yesterday over my statistics course.
Oh, okay. I hope you got some help.
But I was comforted because some of the things that they talked about, I started doing because I work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but I also have 2 kids. I work full time, all of that. So what I was doing on Wednesdays is I was trying to like cook, do laundry, and do my homework. But I had to stop doing that because I really wasn't focusing on my work. So when my kids are at school, that's my time. If the dish is done, it can be done while they're there. They're not gonna like be bothering me. If I'm doing laundry, I'm telling, hey, you know how to work the laundry machine. Like, you know how to work TikTok, go figure it out, wash your clothes, get your stuff. Right. So like I had to like really set boundaries around myself and protect myself from myself, because I start to feel guilty, like, oh, I should be doing this because they're at school and I have time now. But that's my time.
Absolutely.
My time. So I was like, oh, I'm doing something right, because some of the stuff that they're saying that I've implemented. So that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you for sharing. You're absolutely doing a lot right. You're absolutely doing a lot right. Taking the deep dive into going back to school or to starting school, always know, everyone on this call and everyone who will be listening in the future, always know that you are doing something right. You're doing not only doing something for yourself, but you're addressing your own personal mastery as well as your professional mastery. Because it will be part of you, your education, your credentials. It's an extension of you.
Yeah, this is my 3rd attempt at it, because first 2
get it right.
Baby 1, baby 2. I'm like, there's no more babies. I'm finishing. That's it. I'm going through. We're just gonna cry it out.
I know that's right. There's gonna be plenty of times that we cry, but you know what I say? Okay, I get done having my little meltdown. I say, okay, now get it together, Ivanka. Now, what you need to do to fix this, or what do I need to do to get the assignment done? But I do give myself space to have a little meltdown. So don't feel bad if you have meltdown.
And you're not the only one melting down. Bridget said she could relate. Like Ivanka said, we've spoken when we were in school. It was kind of like, you know, we have to, you know, everybody has outside personal lives, but I was an adult in school, no kids, but I still had different stressors. I was in classes with people who have full families. Everybody has a different stressor, but you're not going through it alone. It's absolutely not something that, you're going through alone. And that's why peer support services, we're here. Our coaches are here, and other students, that's why I said with the forum, You're not the only one. Trust and believe. And there may be something you find yourself, you know what, I can help somebody with that. Or just listening and getting in that comfort of knowing that I really am not the only one that really thinks I'm going back to school. I'm trying to juggle laundry. I have a full-time job. I have a part-time job. I have this, I have that. You're not doing it alone. And there are people out there who have had success with doing it. So you can also know that I'm not the only one that is feeling like this. And I'm not the only one that's going to succeed at this. There's going to be myself and others after me. So, and don't feel guilty about having your personal moments of breakdown, having your personal moments of please leave me alone, close the door, because that is what you need to keep yourself sane.
Absolutely. 1000%. When I first started using Moodle, I can't tell you how many times I cried and called my youngest son, who's really good with technology. The first couple of times he had to sit with me because I couldn't get through without crying. I mean, I was a mess. I was like, what in the world? Who created this Moodle? Like, it was just so hard for some reason to get adapted to. But I kept at it. I kept practicing. I remember one time I spent hours doing this paper and I accidentally deleted it. That was a meltdown that I don't even want to talk about. I called my son over. He came over and somehow he found it someplace. And I from then on, every time I save everything on my flash drive and the desktop now. But the point is that, as Kiba said, we all have stressors and we're all juggling multiple things. And the idea of these webinars and the peer support program is to let you know that you're not alone and that we are here for you. And as I said earlier, we will not have all the answers, but we will figure it out together and we will find out for you and get back to you.
And that is the key part.
That's right.
You know, we
That's right.
had plenty of situations where we didn't have a direct answer, but we worked together as a team
Mhm.
to solve and,
Mhm.
you know, at least get the student to a finish line, get you to a finish line. And you come back and say, I got help. You know, Ivanka didn't have the answer, but guess what? She led me to who
Mhm.
had the answer. And that, I feel, is a big thing with something that we experience, you know, nowadays. Sometimes you go to one person, I can't help you, I don't know. And that's the end of the road. It's never going to be the end of the road with us. We try our hardest to absolutely get you to that finish line. And I'm with you, Amberlyn. May not have been Taco Bell, but there's been plenty of fast food that I've cried myself with or indulged in, kind of make to find a happy place.
That's the truth. That's
Hey,
the
I don't
truth.
have
questions
anybody
for you, ladies.
really hard for me to ask for help. So like I will kill myself before I even open my mouth. And I was like, I surrender. I don't know the answer. I need help.
That was
Hard for me.
Nicole, you're talking to the right here. Like I said, I'm like, I can't ask for help. I don't have any, you know, kids running around. I feel ashamed. No, my answers were easily answered. My questions were easily answered. And I kicked myself after because I didn't open my mouth a little bit faster.
Mhm. Mhm.
Keith, I saw you raised your hand.
Yes, ma'am. Is there a group that's out there for the meltdown when you miss a letter grade by 1 point, anonymous?
Yes, right here, Keith, right here. Email
And-
me, team. We can talk right here. We can have our own.
Right, and then you know you solicit the professors. Like, hey, any extra assignment I could do? Come on, I'm trying to, you know. Do you have any?
And
how do you
again,
how do you not go to the next letter on this? It's an 89. How do you not do this?
Yeah.
I had that too in the capstones course. Let's not talk about, you know, I won't get into that story here. We won't get into that story, but I've had that moment as well, Keith. I've had that moment.
Amberlyn says she is happy to chair our meltdown. Okay, we got to chair.
But 100%, you know, not because I'm here for this as a support coordinator. We really encourage you guys. We push to get Zoom, we push to get Teams because we found a lot of people are just in that comfortable zone where they are able to talk to our coaches and our tutors one-on-one and actually see who you're talking to, you know, and communicate that way. We try our best. We are flexible. Like I said, we have staff in California who are 3 hours behind. So if you're thinking it's 1 o'clock in the morning and nobody's there, we do. We have one of our English coaches. He's on when you wouldn't think, you know, he's 11 hours ahead of us. And we have someone on almost 24 hours who are here to assist you guys, you know? So
Thank you. Cause it's real out here.
It is real.
very real. It is very real.
It's very real. It's very real. And I know that some people, and I mean, I say a lot, qualify that many of us struggle with asking for help. And if you don't want to verbally ask, or you don't want to do a Zoom, and just do a simple email, that's anonymous enough.
Absolutely.
Just put a question out there. There's no question. I cannot say this enough. There is no question that's stupid. If you don't want to ask your mentor, you think, oh my God, I'm supposed to know this, ask us and we'll figure out a way to get the answer for you. We have access, a blanket, right, Kiva, to like some of the courses that we can look in and kind of go through. We don't have a lot. I think it's like 10 or 15 we have. Like maybe we can go in and get some information for you and just kind of usurp that process if you don't feel comfortable reaching out to your mentor. Also, please don't forget to your peers in your class through your discussion boards and through, I know the online, as I said in the webinar that I did last time, just because you are an online learner does not mean that you are not a whole student. It doesn't mean that you don't need those other services as it maybe an in-person student does. You are a student that learns online, not an online learner. So remember that you still need supports, and that's what we are here to offer you. So at your leisure, if you want to take, you can take a picture of this or come back and record it or look at the recording and just do some of your own research about best practices to avoid and reduce information overload. Okay.
I can also, I'll copy it down and I send a follow-up email. I can include those links in there as well.
Okay. Okay, no problem. All right, next slide. We're going to be wrapping up in respect for you guys' time. So how do we feel? You can drop it in the chat. You can come off of mute. How do you feel now?
Encouraged.
Encouraged. Absolutely. Absolutely. Next slide for me. Keep it. We could get some numbers up here. People can drop some numbers in there. How you feeling? Wendell said encouraged. Amberlyn, how do you feel? Okay. Empowered.
Empowered, yeah.
Right. That's good. All right. Amberlyn say good. Thank you. Okay. Very good.
Feel
Okay.
not.
Nicole, what did you say?
I said I feel not alone.
Absolutely. Very good. So just remember, we got, somebody said two.
I still at it too.
Yeah, I said that on purpose. I don't like the selection of all these emojis.
Okay, fine. So what's two, Rudy? I hope that's good.
I mean, I'm just hyperventilating on 2022 and on a college experience. We're looking at emojis. I just find that contrary. But the truth is that I just for clarification, I joined the school 2 months ago. I went through a crazy hassle to get my transcripts transferred over, and at the end, I lost the war because four different parties mentioned four different things. But at the end of the day, TSU apologized. It's not on them, but sometimes things are not clear, and then that's pressure on me. I start crashing again. Here we go. I just got to keep pushing forward, and I have horrific anxiety, insecurity, low self-esteem. But I have to believe myself. I think I've heard her name. She said at the start, the first thing she said was that we're here for a reason. I'm here for a reason, and I'm here because I can't fail. It's not an option. So if I believe it's not an option, that's establishing discipline. Then I got to do what I got to do. The only way I can do what I got to do is by, setting it up on paper, writing it down. And the coaches, I've had Sherry and I've had Alex, and they have been Tara last night, absolutely phenomenal.
Good.
And I never expected a college to ever offer this kind of assistance, and it's real. It's a little shocking.
Oh,
Great.
well, we're real. I'm a real person, and my emojis were to add a little levity.
So my emoji now will be. I don't got a good one. I like the angry face.
Oh my God! Okay.
I'm kidding. I feel good. Thank you.
I don't know if you realized it, Rudy, but one thing you said is, you said, I can do this. I can't fail. You sound confident to me.
Yeah, well, that's considering how damaged my self-esteem is. I got to put on a show.
Well, you're putting on a good show,
but that show, pushes you sometimes because you have something to do.
That's Kiba, that's right. But I would tell you, a lot of my confidence I'm exuding now is coming from how good the coaching has been.
Well, I'm
Good.
glad to hear that, and I'm sure I will relay that to our coaches. I
Oh, they're
wish Alex
amazing.
was on.
You know what? I found one of the coaches. What they do is instead of sort of helping you with the work or the topic, they can just get a little sense of who you are and slow you down.
Yep.
Mhm,
Like give
absolutely.
me that. It's okay. It's all good. Just slow it down and keep things in perspective, and then I can just gather and go back to it. Confidence is not easy. It's something that I have to work on every minute of my day.
Mm,
Thanks for
Absolutely.
letting me share that.
no
Nope,
problem.
and I appreciate you, you sharing that. And again, guys, with Rudy saying that's what our coaches and our tutors are here for. They are, sometimes you come in hot and it's like you're frustrated and you just want to get this stuff done, or I'm gonna get a tutor, and you come out of it realizing, okay, like if I just slow down and we'll help you guys through that stuff, you will reach the finish line.
I think Keith either had his hand up or
Yes.
had a comment. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I was gonna put it in the chat, but I'll just say it. It's in reference to Rudy. Rudy, we all have insecurity issues. Some of us just hide it better than others. We
Mhm.
all have them.
Yep.
I appreciate that, Keith. I'm just good at it. I
Yes,
practice.
sir.
Okay, next slide. All right. Thank you. And any final questions before we move on to the
Yeah.
next slide?
I sent a message to Wendell. Sorry, I thought I was sending it to everybody.
No, 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 that's okay.
How do we find coaching, or how do I? Because
Yeah.
I did the tutoring the first time yesterday,
Mhm.
and I realized like I was just like telling the tutor like a million things at once.
Mhm.
And then once I slowed down, I realized I was asking him a question that the teacher was not asking me to answer. But
Mhm.
in my panic, I thought I had to do something. And I was like, I need to slow down. And he was like, yeah, you need to slow down because you're not reading what there's. So the tutoring, if you haven't tried it, I definitely recommend it. But as far as the coaching, I don't know much how to go about that.
Okay, can you do the next slide, Kiba, please?
Sure.
So I'm just putting up my schedule, and you can submit offline questions or to our email. You can email us and a coach will answer it, who's ever on duty, and it's at the peer support at tesu.edu. You can schedule through the smart thinking format. A lot of students really don't like that, but it is an option. We also have the ability to call you now through Teams, and we also have Zoom. So once you email us, whatever coach is available, if you have a specific coach that you are interested in, you can get our names through the Moodle page where it's talk about the staff, and you can email us, and we will get in contact with you, set up an appointment with you, and you tell us your availability.
Oh, I think I have that because I have a Zoom meeting with Caitlin on Sunday
Yep.
and Wednesday.
Yep.
So,
Caitlin's our
okay,
math.
She's a math tutor, so
She's
you
our
want,
math tutor. Yep.
yeah, so you
Yeah.
want a coach, so the coaches are Sherry,
Oh.
Tanya, and myself.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Thank
So
you so much.
you're welcome. So we have the tutors and coaches.
Yep.
You guys are covering it all.
We
Superstars.
are.
Mhm.
And again, I know some people ask, it's not like a limited, oh, I used Javanka one time and like, I kind of gave my token, and you guys can come back. There's no limit to whoever you want to meet with peer support. We're here. If you need the help, we're here. Saw someone just raise their hand.
Yeah, I don't know her name. Her name didn't come up.
It went away really quick for me. It
Okay.
started with an
Hope.
H.
That's hope.
Hope. Was it Hope? Yes.
It's Hope
I
Station.
hope.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing
Are you
well.
able to hear me?
I
Okay.
Yes,
can.
you can.
Okay, great. I am new to the university
Well,
and thank you. So this is my first class and I kind of feel like I've kind of gotten behind because, with the message boards and the assignments and then what to do, what's next. And like you said, learning Moodle.
Mhm.
And, I'm not technically challenged, but it's a different format.
it is.
But I just kind of feel I want to know which path should I take? Have I gotten too far behind, you know, right now? Because I feel like I'm playing catch up. I missed some sessions, some responses. Do I do a drop in and talk to someone? Do I do a coaching? How does that go? Because I didn't want to put it in the chat with everybody in the class.
I think that you can start with a coach
Mhm.
and do one-on-one, and maybe together you can come up with an academic plan of recovery to get
Okay.
you back up. We can even, talk about emailing your mentor to see
Mhm.
what you can catch up on and what you can still get credit for.
Okay.
Right? And just see where you can go from there, just to kind of set a realistic plan according to your schedule and what you want and how you want to do your makeup work versus on top of staying caught up with what's current. That's also an issue, right? Because
Mhm.
you're already behind and you got to get caught up from what's behind work and then stay caught up. That's the issue too. So just talking about realistic plans for you for academic recovery. That's just the bottom line.
Okay, so I need to talk to the mentor, is what you're
Or
saying.
coaches, yeah.
Okay.
Is
And then
myself.
it's I know we go through this with our pre-start webinar that we do as well. So your mentor is like your teacher as well. And then for us, we have the coaches. A lot of times if it comes to where Wendell said it and Ivanka just mentioned it, if it's something with potentially more assignments, extensions, something like that, we are going to advise you to go to the mentor. We don't have any control over that aspect. So 9 times out of 10, just that communication, but communicating with us, we will guide you to the communication that you need to have or who you need to have that with to make sure that, you do catch yourself. But Ivanka's right. A lot of times I tell people, unless you have a direct, I need help with statistics or I need help with my paper, start with our coaches. And then if
Okay.
you discuss with the coaches, hey, I'm having trouble with writing, they'll connect you with our tutors. Like I said, we kind of try to cover everything to help everyone succeed.
Okay.
Lucy, you raised your hand. I'm sorry. Hope, were you finished? I apologize.
Yes, I was. Thank you so much.
No problem. Lucy, you had a question?
Yes, so I'm new to the school too, but I'm like really figuring this whole new Moodle thing out. But where do I go for, like, if you say to go to a tutor or for help on the website?
Okay, but do
So-
you want to close out this Canva and maybe go back to the Moodle page? Maybe
I
that would.
sure can.
Mhm.
So, excuse me. So again, this is our main Moodle page. If for any reason, Lucy, you just want to reach out to us, send us an email directly to peer support. I'll put this in the chat for everyone. If you got the webinar email, you also have our peer support email, but on our Moodle page, you can reach us via Smart Thinking. If you're not, hey, I'm not trying to go through another platform. I just want to talk directly to Ivanka or Sherry or Tanya. Send an email. They will email you and say, hey, how do you want to meet? Via Zoom, via Teams? That's something you can do. If you want to talk on you just want to post your question on the forum, click right into our English forum. You'll see here, we have questions. I need MLA style. I have a final project. I have an APA question. How do I resubmit my pick? We have a plethora of topics. Again, we have many first-time students starting with us. We have students who are saying, this is my first time for years. This is my first, second, or third time coming back. I am anxious, or I do know what I want to do, but I want to make sure I'm on the same track. Anything you could potentially think of, we kind of have a platform for you to reach out to us, reach out to your other students. I'm trying to think where else. You guys asked about, and that's another reason why we have our contact us listed so many times. We want you to reach out. Communication is the biggest thing with helping yourself succeed. That's the biggest aspect that you have to master, just reaching out to us. And for our webinar, so I'll just give you guys a quick overview. This webinar is going to be posted here, and you can see all the webinars that we've recorded before. So juggling with family and work, leveraging our services. So we had a whole session about using TESU and Moodle and different things of that aspect. Building a community with your classmates, avoiding procrastination, that popped up today. That's a webinar you can take a look at your own leisure. Math and English tips. We went through some math terminology, some math online resources, APA formatting, MLA formatting. That's popping up as well. Setting yourself up for success at TSU in regards to achieving your school goals in the healthy way and benefiting from routines for learning. Ivanka went through some key steps with that one as well. Like I said previously, we have something specifically for MLA. Our new student webinar. So this is kicked off the week before you actually start with TESU, before you even see all your courses. We already aware that you guys are enrolled, and we try to reach out to everyone to introduce you to that. Here, one of our coaches goes over the platforms and answers any question you could possibly think of in regards to starting here at Thomas Edison. Supercharging your study skills. So our last coach, Tanya, she went through key steps and skills with helping you supercharge your study skills. And lastly, you'll see our session from tonight will be up there about information overload. So we try to just make everything readily available. If by any means there's something here that you can't have access to, again, use that email address. Somebody is always in that mailbox, and we will get back to you. Even if you're reaching out to say, hey, I know Ivanka's not on, I'm not sure her hours, you just completely didn't check that we have it right up here. If Alex is on, Alex is going to say, hey, Ivanka's going to be on tomorrow from 2 to 5. I'll slot this down for her and she'll reach out to you when she's on. Today, Ivanka had maybe 3 requests yesterday. Her off days are Wednesdays. Right before her webinar, she was up to the minute talking to students, helping students out. So again, even if you're having a challenge with a clash with their hours, reach out via that email and we will help you guys. All right.
Thank you.
I don't want to do any, did I answer your question fully?
Not
Lucy?
really.
I didn't?
No, I'll send you an email because no, I don't know where to go. That's why I'm asking.
And that's fine. So perfect example. Send an email and we can,
Yep.
even if it has to be screen share, we walk through, we'll go through that with you.
Thank you.
Worry about it. Don't worry about it. Send us an email and I'll take your name down as well. All right. So I don't want to do any information overload, Ivanka.
I think we've covered it. I think they have enough in their toolbox. The most important thing is I think Wendell put in the chat that he didn't take advantage of this opportunity before. Now you know. You do better when you know better.
Mhm.
Now you know better.
Hello.
Yes.
May I interrupt a minute, please?
Sure.
Ivanka, this is
Yes.
Abby.
Hi,
I
Abby.
just wanted to bring to everybody's attention that Ivanka was on a session with me before going on this webinar. And it's my first time talking to her and my first time using peer support. And let me tell you something, she changed my mind of what I have to do. She is great at what she does and what is needed to be done. She's given me a lot of confidence in what she said to me, and I do appreciate it. Not only am I, as one of the other students mentioned, nervous about everything, but as she pointed out to me that I really never looked at it that way, I'm going ahead of myself and not worrying about the present. And I think being the person that demands herself to be good at what she does and not do nothing less, I think I need to step back a little and start remembering what she said to me. So I just wanted to let everybody know I was a student she was talking to before she went on this workshop. And I thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
You didn't have to put yourself out there, Abby, but thank you so much.
That's okay.
Thank you so much. It was.
I enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
As well as I did. And I hope that if anything beyond the information overload, if you leave with nothing else, please know that I am invested in you. I take a lot of pride and time in these. When I speak with you guys, I'm authentic. I show up as myself. And I expect the same from everyone else. And I will give you 200% when we are speaking or talking or Zooming with each other or even emailing. And I appreciate that, Abby. It helps me to do what I'm doing. I appreciate that.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So does
All right.
anyone else have any questions before we give you back your time? And again, I appreciate everyone sticking on who had the opportunity to stick on. This is being recorded. It will be on our Moodle page. And again, to access the page, I may not have mentioned that because it popped right up. It's going to be right under here when you log into Moodle under your courses. So mine is at the bottom because I have a couple of sample courses, but just look for that peer support tab on the left. Do we have any more questions? All right.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
A great night, everyone.
you.
Thank you for those who stuck around.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
too.
Have a good
Thank you very much.
Thank you.